Hey everyone, it's me Amy here with Street Life Ministries, and this is my video update for the month of January. For this video update, I want to share with you a story of a lady named Esther and her brother Fred. I met Esther a month ago while we were doing our annual New Year's Eve outreach. She came up to our truck asking for some prayer as well as some job referrals. And at the moment when we were talking, she shared with me how her brother had recently come to New York because of a divorce that he had, and just the situations that he was going through, um, and how she was struggling to kind of just make ends meet, and is at a place where she needs to look for a second job, to also support her brother while he's waiting and also trying to find a job. So we prayed about the situation, and we prayed for her brother as well. I don't remember all that we prayed about, but I just remember us just like lifting the whole situation up. And she was telling me how like she believes that God is faithful to answer her prayers, and she's seen it happen in her life where she was formerly homeless before, and she went through like a whole year or so when she first came to this country, of being homeless and just not sure what or where to do, go and stuff, and yet God kept her through it all. And so she knew and believed that God was going to answer. So let's fast forward this a month later, and yesterday I was doing some follow-up phone calls, and I happened to just call her to see how things were going, and her situation hasn't changed as far as the job situation goes, but we were talking about it, and I was offering some options, and as I was just like sharing with her some things, I was looking through my database and was going to do another follow-up phone call a little later, and I just happened to see someone who had the same last name as her, and it turns out that her brother Fred is someone that we met 2 weeks ago at Tompkins Square Park. And what's really mind-blowing to me is that to see I met Esther at a different location, and then a couple of weeks later met her brother Fred at Tompkins Square Park, which is a place that we normally go to. It's just so amazing to me to think like, hey, God is like after Fred and showing himself real to Esther, because I know that she was talking about how she prays for her brother as well. And the situation with Fred right now too is the first day that I met him, Marianne and I were sharing with him about forgiveness and about letting go of things, because he had just been so burnt out by the situation with his wife. His wife left him, and he had to leave everything behind in Georgia to come here to New York, and he was sharing how he was angry and burdened, and so Marianne and I were sharing with him about just God's heart for him, for forgiveness, and how he desires to take those burdens away. And at that moment, Fred said he would give that a try and try to open his heart up to him. So out of this whole thing, and it's really neat for me to just like see how God's like working this whole story of Fred's life and Esther's life, and she's someone that I'm hoping that I'll get to continually work with and help her with this job situation. So if you can pray for her, and as well as her brother Fred, he's also looking for a job. We were able to give him some referrals to different places, but one of the things for him is that being around Tompkins Square Park, he's been around a group of people who are not necessarily the best influence for him. But we know that our presence in his life, and even his sister's prayers, like together with that, it's going to do something in his life. So if you can pray with me for Fred, for his salvation, for him to really come to know who God is, and just for the provision of God for a job on his behalf, as well as for Esther, who's also trying to make ends meet in her own life. Esther and I were talking about how she wants to go back to school, and she has all these dreams and desires. So please pray for them. You guys, your prayers and support help make this happen. And there's just so much that happens on the streets of New York that it's a result of prayers being prayed by people. And I know that God's heart is so that he can pursue after them, and he uses us to do that. So I thank you guys for listening to this video update. I hope you guys have a great new year, and I love you guys. All right, bye.